Incarnation Read is a horror anthology podcast and thus contains material not suitable for all audiences. This episode contains depictions of grief and reference to the death of a child. Listener discretion is advised.
You don't want to go in there all by yourself, do you?
S2E presents Incarnation Read.
Episode 25. Guardian. It was 8 years ago. 8 years ago that my wife and I adopted her. 8 years ago that we made the decision to finally raise another child after our first one. And for 8 years now, I've stood as her defender, loving her, learning her, and protecting her in equal proportions. As parents, it's our duty to do so, our duty to ensure her safety and keep it, and the reward we receive is more than enough. Just getting to watch her grow and grow alongside her ourselves. It's what a parent lives for. But it's only going to happen if there's still a child to watch grow, and that's your responsibility. There are no excuses. Yes, I'd rather be too vigilant than too careless. That's why every single time, I hear her calling for me, I come right to her immediately. It's easy enough to do these days, with summer break upon us and my job being a work-from-home position. And anyway, that's what I'm supposed to do as a father, right? Always be there for her, even when maybe I misheard her, or maybe she's just making unrelated sounds that sound like her calling for me, but I still come. Always. And even if,
Daddy, come here. Daddy, I need you. Dad?
What is it, sweetheart?
Hi, Daddy.
Did you need me, honey?
No, I'm okay.
Right, okay. Just like that. She must not have actually needed me, but I still went. It's what you do. It just is. But is it always what you do? I mean, maybe you're like me, hearing her voice all the time and heading out to her just to find that she's fine, doesn't need me, doesn't even seem to remember calling for me. And not 2 or 3 times a day, more like 2 or 3 times an hour. What do you do then? And it's happening over and over again for the last week now. I hear her calling for me, go to check on her like a parent should, all to find that nothing is amiss at all. I can't tell if this is some slip in my hearing or a childish little prank she's pulling on me, and I wouldn't mind either of those things if I just knew which one it was. I've no idea at all, and my wife has even less of one. Multiple times over the last few nights, she tells me that when I'm out and she's home alone with our daughter, there are no issues, that she's always so calm, so independent. She never hears the child's cries, never, and what am I supposed to do with that? I mean,
Daddy, I need you, please.
And I know what I'll find. But I look at my office door and I know she could be just on the other side, suffering, in need, and I can't just let her keep calling for me.
Hi,
Are
Dad.
you alright, sweet pea?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Nothing's the matter? You're okay?
Yeah?
Alright. Of course. Just checking. And multiple times I've sat her down and asked her honestly and without anger, just to tell me why. But her answer is always the same. The simple fact that she isn't calling for me. At least, not at the times when I seem to think she is, and her answer... it's pure honesty. The placid and innocent candor of a child who doesn't even know what deception is. I can see it inside her. I know, my daughter. And I would know if she were lying. I would know. It's just a couple of hours before I finish up my work for the day and head out to greet my child, my wife, my family. At night it's even worse.
Dad! Daddy! Please come here. Dad, I need you.
I'm hardly even close to sleep before I hear it.
Dad.
Down the hallway,
Dad,
across the house,
come here.
behind enough walls that I question whether I should even be hearing it this clearly.
Please?
Meanwhile, my wife's still sound asleep. She never seems to wake up when our daughter calls.
Please come here.
But then,
Daddy, come here. Please?
she is calling for me, isn't she?
Dad! Dad, come here.
I rise from bed,
Please. Dad, I need you.
run my fingers across my eyes, step out into the hallway, turn to my right toward her bedroom. And in the darkness, with so little defined in my still adjusting eyes, I see the white outline of her door. And sure enough, the cries are coming from there, detached, almost at a remove,
Please. Dad,
like the door itself was crying for me.
I need you now. Daddy.
I walk down the hallway.
Daddy, please.
I make it to her door and open it. And she's asleep, face down in bed, not moving, not stirring, not even seeming to notice that the door has opened, not making a single sound. I walk closer to her. I stare at the back of her head, at the absence of features, all obscured by her little brown hair. And I watch. I watch her. I think I'll just stay here for the night. Make sure she's okay. I sit on the small chair in her room. Let my chin rest on my open palm. Keep watching her. Better safe than sorry. It's a few more days of this. Every night for almost a week straight, sitting in a practically wakeful sleep. But today, mercifully, my wife has taken her to spend the day with her grandparents. They won't be back until late afternoon, once I'm off work and have a little time to get some rest. Rest. But for now, I'm working, keeping up a steady workflow in my home office, on something like 3 cups of coffee, more than necessary after the way this last week has gone. I just need to get through this day, so I can get some sleep. Need to stay focused, efficient, now that I don't have the interruption of her constantly calling me, and then needing to go
Please come here.
It-
Daddy.
Is that...
Daddy, please.
was nothing. I get back to work. Keep on typing to finish up this report by the end of the day, or better yet, early. That way I can get myself another hour or two of sleep.
Dad, come here. Daddy.
I'm just hearing things. I'm so tired. I rub my face, take a sip of coffee, and bring myself back to my senses, back to my work, back into focus. You would think I would work faster given the incentive of rest. Rest I desperately need. And for what? I've sat in her bedroom for the last 6 nights, just sat there and watched her sleep while nothing happens at all. I just know the second I get back in my bed I'll hear her voice, and what if she really needs me? All these girl who cried wolf moments could very well hide an actual, serious, life-threatening situation. And when it does, it'll sound the exact same as one of these phantom calls, but what life-threatening situation am I worried about? I think of it all the time, but I can never truly give it a name. So what is it? What am I so afraid of?
Daddy, I need you. Dad.
I wait. Just wait for it to stop.
Daddy, come here. Please.
Take a sip of coffee. Blink so many times.
Please. Please come here. Daddy, please.
But it
Daddy, I need
won't
Daddy.
stop.
Daddy, come here. Please. Please.
And before I'm even aware of it, or before I can even question it, I'm standing up, leaving my office, going toward her voice. I step out into the kitchen, look around, but I can hear it's coming from elsewhere, from downstairs in the basement. I turn around, head toward the basement door, open it. It's down there, I can tell. The stairs descend into the dark. We're still fixing up the basement and haven't gotten around to putting in lights yet. I turn, figure I should go fetch the flashlight. But what if that makes me too late? She needs me badly, I can hear it. And there's nobody else in the house but me. It has to be me. I have to help her. I'm her father. It's what I'm supposed to do. I walk down the stair steps, into the dark, reach the basement floor. I call out her name. Tell her, Daddy's here, Daddy's here, Daddy's here. But she doesn't stop calling for me. Keeps on crying out my name. I close my eyes, listen for her voice, set out in that direction. I wander around in the dark with my hands out, reaching for her, repeating my consolations, and just as I'm reaching her, I seem to have lost her again. Her voice is suddenly quieter, more distant. I try again, seek out where her voice is coming from, head toward her, and I found her. I know where she is, but then I don't clearly I don't. She's gone again. Gone halfway across the room. I pursue again, and again, and again. So many times that I can't quite tell how long it's been. 10 minutes, 3 hours, 6 days. It could be any amount of time, any decidedly equivalent measure of time later, I find myself falling to one knee. I can't see anything, but I can feel my vision fading. I sit on the floor, hold my head in my hands, let my body lapse. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The flashlight beams into my face. My wife's voice is loud, concerned. And so is my daughter's. As always. After finding me, collapsed on the floor, dead asleep for something like 5 hours, it's clear to me that my wife is concerned, asking me over and over why I was so tired, asking what could possibly have robbed me of so much sleep. And in this spirit, after I make a quick call to my boss, sheepishly explaining what happened, and then a just as quick dinner with my family, my wife hurries me off to bed early. Says I need the rest, clearly. I initially resist, knowing full well how temporary it will be, and knowing exactly what will interrupt it, but she insists. I still ask. I still have to ask, what if she needs me? My wife doesn't have much in the way of a satisfying answer to that, but she still gets me into bed. And I can't say I mind too much. Sweat covers me, my lips are shaking, I can't see straight. Her voice still ringing in my ears, but just in my ears. I listen closely. The house is silent. She's not calling for me. It was a horrible, horrible dream. I can't even bring it back into the frame of my memory, and not because I've forgotten it. Oh, no. I just can't bear to remember it again. God, my baby girl, she I mean, she's safe, right? It was just a dream. If she needed me, well, there's no doubt she'd be calling for me. I mean, she's never hesitated before. What possible reason could there be for her needing me but not calling? I suppose there's only one reason. I stand out of bed, wipe the sweat of my face with widespread fingers, shake myself, step forward, go out into the hallway, look at the white door, how suddenly silent it is, how tight-lipped, secretive, concealing from me that which I need to see, that which I need to hear. I walk toward it, hold its knob in a still slickened hand, and turn the knob, open the door. And she's fine. She's perfectly fine. Face up in bed, breathing peacefully, very perfectly still. But her room is not. Her stuffed animals, ripped open, concisely incised from neck to abdomen, fluff pouring out in generous dissection. Her Barbie dolls, previously sat on a shelf, now with their legs twisted viciously around backwards and left sprawled all over the floor. The small chair at her desk is turned over, the pictures are knocked off the wall, and her window, the glass of her window is cracked and audibly hissing with air, like something was trying to get out. Or get in. I waste no time in going directly to her, stepping over her twisted dolls and eviscerated stuffed animals to reach her bedside, placing my hand gently on her to feel her pulse, her breath, and breathe a sigh of relief myself. Thank God. Thank God, but it's only relieving to an extent, because it doesn't explain any of this. It doesn't explain the crack in the window, the vivisected toys. It doesn't explain who did all of this, why she did it if it was her, who it was if not her, and it doesn't even come close to explaining why this room precisely matches what I saw in my nightmare. At least by certain illusion. Certain undeniable similarities in the fluff pouring out of those animals. But she's okay. She's okay and alive and sleeping just fine, so I can't just wake her up. She's sleeping so soundly, and I can't afford to have her just as sleepless as me. But I can't lose her either. I can't afford to lose her So, I collect and hide all of her stuffed animals. I fix the legs of her dolls and put them back on the shelf. I walk over to her desk, lift the chair back up into position, and sit. Sit and watch her. It's what you do. As a parent, it's your responsibility to protect your child from anything and everything, even things that you can't see. And if you slip up and your child pays for it, that is your fault. All your fault. And if you're a good parent, then you learn from your mistake. From that point on, you never let a child out of your sight again. You be the father this child needs. You make up for what you did. And you protect her. Even if it takes all night. The sun begins to crawl up through the cracked window. I can hear my wife rising, getting ready for work, leaving. I don't bother telling her goodbye, asking her about this, or saying anything at all to her. What is she going to tell me anyway? She's been kept clean, isolated from this whole situation that is my reality. No. What I need is to talk to my daughter. Need to get to the bottom of this. Need to figure out what the hell is going on here, to figure out what might have happened to her, but somehow, miraculously, didn't. And as the sunlight begins to choke its way through the glass, she wakes.
Good morning, Daddy.
Good morning, sweetheart. How did you sleep?
I slept really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a dream about you, me, and Mommy, and we were at the swimming pool, and it was snowing though, and
That's great, sweetheart. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Okay, Daddy.
Good. Okay, so, you see, sweetheart, do you see the window right there?
Yes.
Good. And do you see the crack right there in it?
Yes.
Great. So, do you happen to, do you know where that crack came from?
No, Daddy, I don't.
You don't.
No.
Okay. Well, do you see how all the pictures, all the pictures that were on your wall are on the ground now?
Yes.
Right. So, do you know what happened to them? Why they're on the floor?
No, Daddy, I'm sorry, I don't know.
I see. So you don't have any idea why either of those things are... why they are?
Am I in trouble, Daddy?
No, sweetheart, no. No, Daddy's not mad at all. Daddy's not mad. You're not in trouble. Why would you be in trouble? What reason would there be for you to be in trouble? No, there's no reason you should be in trouble, right?
I don't know. I don't think Daddy, are you sure I'm not in trouble?
I blink. I see her face swimming in my fading vision.
I promise, Daddy, I didn't do anything bad at all.
I watch her as she speaks, her eyes seeming to fill with tears, but her mouth seeming to...
I slept all night. I didn't wake up or do anything. I promise.
to smile at me.
I promise I'm telling the truth, Daddy. I would tell you if I had done something bad.
I stand up and look at her face. The sadness of tears mingling with the smile in her teeth.
Please don't get mad at me, Daddy. I promise I didn't break anything. Please believe me.
And I don't know who I'm looking at.
Daddy, are you feeling okay?
I walk out of the room, walk swiftly out into the kitchen, into my home office, close the door behind me, collapse into the chair. I run my fingernails against my scalp and kick aimlessly at the air. What is happening to me? Staring at my daughter and hardly being able to recognize her, pressing her for things she doesn't know any more than I do, about to come loose at the seams, getting closer each time she insists that nothing happened to her last night, that she hasn't been crying out for my attention, that she doesn't need me to come check on her, and that upsets me? That angers me? As if I'm angry at her for not dying. Dying like the first child. was the whole idea. We waited. We grieved in our own time. We made it past all of that so we could learn to love again. Could learn to value what we had. Learn from my mistake. From my foolishness. From my failure. So we could raise a child again and not have the entire meaning of our lives, the life-defining gift that is parenthood, be snuffed out on that day. She was our second chance. She was my second chance. If I can't take care of her, if I can't protect her, then what am I? And there it is again. Her calls, her need, and my inevitable role as her guardian. I rise from my office chair, walk toward the door, open it and find that the cries are coming from the basement. It could just be another false cry. It could just be my hearing starting to go. But you never know, do you? And isn't that the truth of it? You never know. I open the basement door. And I take the first few stair steps down,
Daddy?
but I turn around. She's standing right in front of me. In the kitchen. Outside the basement door.
What are you doing, Daddy?
But if she's here, then who?
It doesn't matter how many times I listen to it, no matter how many different ways I play the tapes. It said my name.
Incarnation Read is created, written, narrated, and edited by c.s.w. The opening theme was written and performed by Annika Hansen. All music and sound effects used in this podcast are created in-house from scratch. Special thanks to Annika Hansen for contributing voice acting work to this particular episode. For more information and regular updates, follow me on Twitter at @CSW_horror or visit my website cswhorror.com or like the show's Facebook page, Incarnation Read, as always spelled R-E-A-D. For behind-the-scenes looks and other scary content, you can follow me on TikTok or you can follow me on Instagram at Incarnation Read. Thank you for listening.